Microsoft's pint-sized current-gen console typically takes some substantial cutbacks in current-gen software. So what's the score with Baldur's Gate 3 on Series S? There are a few points of differentiation. Shadow quality, for instance, is clearly lower resolution than on Series X. The shadow maps have more visible breakup and resolve less fine detail than the premium machine, though they still look decent enough, I'd say. Level of detail gets a bit of a simplification at a distance as well, with cruder rock formations in this shot. I'm comparing against the Series X quality mode here because I think that it more closely resembles the Series S build than its performance mode. Outside of those tweaks, I didn't spot any especially noticeable visual changes relative to Series X. Visual settings differences in Baldur's Gate 3 on PC tend to be very subtle though, so I imagine the game could be dropping a broader range of settings. But in either case, any downgrades aren't visually obvious on screen. Resolution expectedly takes a hit, clocking in at 1080p in every shot I tested. This doesn't appear to come with any FSR2 treatment, as characteristic FSR2 artifacts, like the ghosting trails that follow the falling leaves in this shot, don't make an appearance. The final image output looks noticeably softer on Series S and comes saddled with visibly more aliasing. HUD elements also exhibit obvious stair-stepping, but I'd say the game looks fine enough, with a less obvious visual downgrade than we see in the typical Series S title. The game's singular Series S mode targets 30 FPS, which feels fine by and large. In general play, the frame rate is locked to that target, as expected, with a consistent beat of 33 millisecond frames. In our Act 3 stress test, the game performs almost identically to the Series X in its quality mode, holding 30 FPS more often than not, but struggling somewhat in the most demanding spot. I'd love to take a crack at the game's split-screen co-op functionality on Series S as well, but the feature has been omitted entirely from the launch release. According to Larian, this mode presented substantial development difficulties, and the requirement to keep feature parity on the two machines, as per Microsoft's technical requirements, was delaying development. With an exemption granted from Microsoft, the final game completely lacks split screen on the weaker console. The Series S's restricted RAM allotment probably makes this kind of feature especially challenging to implement here.